Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with OMMY. I'm a sports fan who always said, if I never played a sport professionally, then I want to talk about it. I'm born and raised in New York City. Played organized basketball for several well-known teams in the mid-'70s and the early '80s, such as the legendary Home Cold Rucker Tournament, Melbank, Stone Gym and Riverside Church, LaGuardia House, and my all-time favorite, Each One Teach One. Having sports in my life at an early age always kept me out of trouble. If I wasn't playing basketball, I was either playing football or baseball. Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with OMMY, where my opinions, views, and facts will cover the hottest, the latest, and the past sports events. Welcome. Once again, I want to continue to thank everyone who has liked and subscribed to my podcast. And if this is the first time you're viewing it, please do the same. As always, before I even get into today's topic, yes, I got one hot topic to talk about. And I'm talking about New York Jets coach Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers, the bad man, I call him, because he's a bad man on the football field. Now, why I'm bringing this up as a hot topic? Because we are dead in preseason right now, all over NFL. And Aaron Rodgers just last week was just found out through the media, he claims, that he's not going to play one preseason game. It's like unlikely he's going to play, okay? And that didn't sit well with him, so he had to go to the press. Press came to him with the microphones, and he questioned that. You know what I'm saying? So you already know there's no real love already in his second year with the head coach, which is kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is a Giant fan, and I'm not even bashing the Jet fans or the Jet organization. But you cannot let Aaron Rodgers, who only played 4 plays last season, come in there and dictate, you know what I'm saying, and start running shit, excuse my French, about what his coach decided to do. Now, we don't know all the ins and the outs, and I'm quite sure he didn't find out like we found out, okay? I'm quite sure. He's a 19-year veteran, right? Be 41 years old this December. Listen, just coming off a serious Achilles. Jet organization spent a lot of money on this dude. They spent a lot of money on this dude. Not just his contract. We're talking about the number 10 ranked offensive line. They spent some money on that offensive line to protect this man this season. Also, got a few pieces for that defense. Jets looking to try to make it to the AFC Championship. That's the way I'm looking at them. Again, I'm not a Jet fan, but that's the way I am looking at them, and I'm quite sure the Jet organization and the Jet fans is thinking just like I'm thinking. As long as this man, Aaron Rodgers, is healthy, listen, it's going to be between the Ravens and the Chiefs. Cincinnati fighting for that AFC Championship. Jets is right there. They're right there. So what I'm trying to say and why I'm bringing this up as a hot topic, Aaron Rodgers just need to stay in his lane and be quiet. Let the coach coach. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Green Bay. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We already knew you had the power in Green Bay. Listen, this should be it after this season. What we going to see? Let's get through this season with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm hoping he does not get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Jet fan or no Jet fan, I'm an NFL fan. I'm just hoping he doesn't get hurt. And I'm quite sure the organization and the fans is praying for the same thing. So stay in your lane, Aaron Rodgers. So, last show, I asked you guys, do you think the men's USA team will bring back the gold? Now, I got several responses from my TikTok followers. Remember, I'm live every Tuesday and Thursday just about. And everyone said, hell yeah. No need to even ask that no more. So I won't ask it no more. And so far, it looks like they're going to win it all. and bring home the gold. So let's get started with today's topic. I'm talking about athletes who underachieved. You heard me, athletes who underachieved. Now, I'm going to explain in a few why, later on in the show, why I even created this show, why I even came up with this title, right? And you're going to know why once I say the name. But for right now, as owners, on down to us, the fans, we experience every year throughout the decades. We got athletes who just underachieve. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a shock no more when you see a player in college or coming from overseas or wherever they coming from, and the media spotlight and the high expectation is like, oh man, he's gonna be the next Jordan. Oh, he's gonna be the next Wayne Gretzky. Oh, gonna be the next Jeter, right? The seasons begin, and all of a sudden, everybody's saying, yo, what is this? Is that all you got? I mean, you know, we got athletes. As I'm talking to y'all, as y'all listening to me, I know names are popping up in all sports. The underachievers is who I'm talking about. No disrespect to them. And I'm going to get into that in a few. But you got high expectations for athletes in all sports. Now, let me stop here. If that high expectation athlete gets hurt and can't rebound from the injury and still trying to play, but they ain't not the same, they get a pass. We give them a pass. We always do. From management down to the fans, we give them a pass. But I ain't not talking about the ones who got injured. I'm getting ready to talk about the ones who didn't have injuries, right? Healthy, right? The high expectation was just high like a mother. Like, oh, they started off in the good category, and they supposed to then go into the very good category, or the great category, and it just didn't happen. So I got six. Yeah, I got six athletes from the past and the present who my opinion, who I considered underachievers. And so I want to give you those six, right? And I'm going to, when I get to one of the names, I'm going to tell you, and I'm saving him for last. Yeah, I'm saving him for last. So I'm talking about Kwame Brown as my number one underachiever. Everybody remembers Kwame Brown, NBA player, right? Came out in 2001. So we're talking 23 years ago. Kwame, you can hear him right now on social media. If he got a beef, he's talking about it. Listen, Kwame, 6'11". Back then, they got him in the books for 290 pounds. So let's stop right there. Kwame, primetime, Kwame Brown, 6'11", 290 pounds. Think about that as a power forward in NBA. I don't care what decade. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I'm not doing this to disrespect any of these players that I'm getting ready to mention. But Kwame Brown, listen, he came out the draft in 2001 as the number one overall pick. The high expectation was bananas. Kwame Brown came out, drafted by the Washington Wizards. Everybody remember that for those who got old heads like me, right? Now, Kwame Brown played for 7 teams, okay? He played for 7 NBA teams, and he played 12 years in the NBA. So now, I'm saying to myself, as I was putting this show together, I said, okay, I got to mention some of his highlights prior to him even coming into the NBA. Why was so much of a high expectation from this guy, right? He was first team parade All-American, McDonald's All-American, Mr. Georgia basketball. But for a 12-year career, he only scored 4,000. A little over 4,000 points, right? Rebounds is 3,333. He gave out 554 assists. So I'm saying to myself, man, Kwame, I really remember Kwame when he came to my Lakers, right? He played 3 years with my Lakers. And I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was 3 years too long because he wasn't giving me and most Laker nations what we thought he can do. Now, when he was playing with Washington, right, he didn't have too much to work with, right? But when he came over to the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? We were decent. And we was expecting a lot from him. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't give it to us. And it was like frustrating. 6'11", 290 pounds, and you was just so, he was just so unsure of himself. He was, he wasn't decisive with his moves. You know what I'm saying? His low post game was like suspect. I mean, if he knocked you down to get a free layup, I mean, it was hard for him to score. I mean, you looking at Kwame, you looking at the height, you looking at the weight. You know what I'm saying? He can move mountains, 290 pounds, and couldn't give us nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to dog Kwame Brown. This is not what I'm doing. This is not what this show is about. But the expectations, man, it was sick. It was sick watching him, even after, if you're an NBA lover like me, even after he left my Lakers. I was like, yo, I mean, I can't even talk when it comes to Kwame Brown. You know what I'm saying? He underachieved so much is what I really want to say, right? And I'm not going to say no more about Kwame Brown because I ain't trying to disrespect this man. I want to move on to my second underachiever. My second underachiever, talking about Charles Smith. You guys remember Charles Smith? NBA player, Charles Smith. Yeah, 6'10", 250 pounds, Charles Smith. Expectation for Charles Smith was off the roof. Charles Smith was drafted in 1988, y'all. Okay? First round, third overall pick. Charles Smith. Yeah, I'm going back some for you youngins. But listen, look him up. Charles Smith. Okay? Came into the league with the high expectation. Right? 10 years he played. Came in, selected by the Sixers. Right? Power forward. Right? Played for 3 teams. Right? Started off, and I remember Charles Smith so much. Actually met him in the Macy's area, 34th Street. And this dude was, and this is back in 89. And this dude was like, yo, he is, big, huge guy. Seemed to be very friendly, humble man. You know what I'm saying? And so the smile and just his character, you know what I'm saying? We just had a lot of high expectation. When I say we, I'm talking about the basketball world. You know what I'm saying? From the owners to the fans. Charles Smith was supposed to be that power forward. Yeah. He was supposed to be that power forward. Remember, he was NBA All-Rookie first team in 89, All-American in 88. You know what I'm saying? Player of the Year in 1988 in the Big East college. You know what I'm saying? Two-time first team Big East. You know what I'm saying? Two-time third all Big East. Right? Listen, he scored in his NBA career 8,107 points. Right? Grabbed 3,246 rebounds, and he assisted 798 times. Right? Okay, Charles Smith. Right? Remember, he played for 4 years with the Clippers. Right? He played 4 years with the Clippers. That's where he really made his name. You know what I'm saying? And he with those Clippers, he had a very, very good seasons with the Clippers. He averaged, 19 points a game, 7 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So he did well with the Clippers. Did very well. But, and you guys know, you Knicks fans know where I'm getting ready to go at with Charles Smith. But, the big but, his career was over when he joined the Knicks. And for those who wasn't even born, and for those who don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, just Google Charles Smith, 1993, June 2nd, 1993. Yeah, the Knicks is in the Eastern Conference Finals going at it with Jordan and his Bulls. Now, let's think about this. Okay? Right? Let's think about it. And as I'm telling y'all this, Charles, down the stretch, seconds left, had 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 opportunities for easy layups to make to win the game. And he missed all 4. We talking about gimmies right near the basket. Right near the basket. All 4 missed. Knicks was up in that series 2-0. Right? Lost the series. Bulls came back, lost the series. When they lost that game 5, 97-94, and he missed all those 4 gimmies, that's when his career went left, and he can never, ever turn it back right, and his career was just over. I mean, man, I've never seen that. And most, not just in any, I'm talking any sport. You know what I'm saying? One series, not even a series. I'm going to say 1 minute of a game, of a most important game, will just kill an athlete's career. And that's what happened with Charles Smith. My man was never the same. You know what I'm saying? Never the same. I mean, what we talking? We talking 10 years in the NBA. And he scored 8,000. And you don't even hear about him. You know what I'm saying? Anything you hear about Charles Smith, if anybody's talking about him, is not gonna be good. That's all I got to say. It ain't gonna be good. So Charles Smith, he had to retire. You know what I mean? And he retired. He retired as a San Antonio Spurs, right? Back in 96, 98, right? Hooked up with Duncan and them. He helped out a little bit coming off the bench. He helped out a little bit, but by then his mind was all messed up because of that Bull Knick game. You know what I'm saying? And he was just never the same, right? Nice dude, nice humble man. And I can say that because I met him, and then when he greeted me, you know, I just ran. I was in the store. He was in the same store, and we just went in the same aisle, and boom. I'm like, yo, who's this? I'm looking up, yo, Charles Smith, right? I gave him a lot of love. He gave me love. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget that. Charles Smith. Oh, man. Listen, I want to move on to my third underachiever. I'm Talking about Tim Tebow. Yeah, you guys know Tim Tebow. And before I even get into Tim Tebow, these are athletes that is just in my brain when it comes to underachievers throughout the years. And Tim Tebow is just one. 6'3" in height, in his prime at 255 pounds as a quarterback. Listen, he was drafted in 2010, first round, the 25th pick. Lefty had a lot of high expectations. You know what I'm saying? Tim Tebow. He had the name. You know what I mean? He had the endorsement name, Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I was rooting for him. A lot of people was rooting for Tim Tebow. Listen, played for 5 teams in the NFL. He played, listen, Heisman Trophy winner, 2007, the Manning Award. You know what I'm saying? He was the College Football Player of the Year in 07, Quarterback of the Year in 07, All-American in 07. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, this dude, he got a lot of highlights and awards that I don't even need to name. He was just expected to do so well. Now, Tim Tebow's 3 years of playing in the NFL, right? He passed 361 times, made 173 completions. So right there tells you he didn't really play, right? Didn't really play. I mean, Tim Tebow, giving you his stats is not even why I even brought him up. I mean, he was supposed to have been that dude, Tim Tebow, right? And he was just so indecisive with throwing the ball to the receiver that he wanted to throw it to. Interceptions galore, right? I think he ran more than he passed because he was scared to pass at certain points. He had some games, right, that I was cheering for him. You know what I'm saying? Tebow used to come in when the starting quarterback just had a bad game, and then Tebow come in with a little spark, right? Get all the fans all pumped up. I remember that with Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have the respect. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that. The expectations was just so high for this young man at the time, and he just didn't live up to it. You know what I mean? And he couldn't live up to it. You know, and I don't want to get into the mental later on, but Tim Tebow is definitely one of my underachievers. Definitely. I want to move on. See, I got to move on because my mother said, if I got nothing good to say, don't say it. So I'm going to leave Kwame Brown and the Tim Tebows alone. I want to move on to my 4th underachiever. And I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys' Dez Bryant. Y'all guys remember wide receiver Dez Bryant with those Cowboys? Come on. Now, remember Tony Romo, when Dez first started, Romo wasn't the quarterback. He became the quarterback Dez that second year. And Romo, listen, say what you want to say about Tony Romo. I always considered Tony Romo a very good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I just knew he wasn't going to be the man to take you to the NFC Championship. I just knew that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he had the nickname, Tony No-No, right? But Dez Bryant, this is not about Tony Romo. This is about Dez Bryant, right? Dez Bryant, he was 6'2", 220 pounds in his prime, right? Drafted in 2010, first round, y'all, 24th pick, right? Played 9 years in the NFL, 9 years, right? Some of his highlights, we're talking 3-time Pro Bowler, right? First team All-Pro in 2014, NFL receiving touchdown leader in 2014. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he did work in college, right? Did work in college, right? His stats, 537 receiving, okay? Catches, all right? Pretty decent, right? For a 9-year career, right? Receiving yards, 7,506, right? And yards per receiving, 14. You know what I'm saying? Which means, once he caught the ball, he gave you 14 yards after. You know what I'm saying? 75 receiving touchdowns. So why is he an underachiever? Why he's on my list? Let me tell you why he's on my list. Right? 9 years, you with the Cowboys, you got a very good team. I mean, you got a very good team, right? You got a very good quarterback in Tony Romo, right? But Dez, I mean, he was like inconsistent, right? With his catches. You know what I'm saying? He was so much into wanting to be a show out there. He wasn't focused. And for all you Cowboy fans who are going to be listening to this, I'm quite sure you agree with me. He wasn't focused out there. He was just so much on wanting to talk, and get into it with the corner, whoever, you know what I'm saying, with that safety, you know what I'm saying, because they already knew how to push his buttons, you know what I'm saying, just get in his face, he going to now put a show on. Now when it's time for the ball to come at him, you know what I'm saying, he can't get separation at that point, or he ain't catching it, right? I mean, he had his moments, but, running around with the mouth and not staying focused on his routes, you know what I'm saying, made him a serious underachiever. You know what I'm saying? Dez could have been, and I'm not even a Cowboy fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a New York Giant fan for those who know, right? Dez Bryant was supposed to have been that beast as a receiver. You know what I'm saying? Back then, he was supposed to have been that beast, but he could never again stay consistent with his. So yes, that's why he makes my unachiever list. And it stays in my mind because I remember this dude like it was last year season, no doubt. So I want to move on to my 5th underachiever. And I'm talking about Tobias Harris. You guys know Tobias Harris, yes, former, I could say now, Philadelphia 76er. You know what I'm saying? Former. Tobias Harris, right? Again, my mother always said, if you don't have nothing nice to say to somebody or about somebody, don't say it. And on my shows, since I've been doing this podcast, you guys know I will get in a coach's ass, manager or owner. I have no problem blasting the upper management, coaching up. But you won't hear me get ugly with athletes. This is not what I do. This is not my show. This is not what I do. But Tobias Harris, ooh, it's been plenty of times when I'm doing an NBA show, and he comes up, and I'm trying to restrain myself from like not blasting this dude because the expectation was just at the moon with this dude. Handsome dude, you know what I'm saying? His physique is good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, he got the jump shot when it's on, right? 6'8", 226 pounds. Came out 2011 NBA draft, first round, 19th overall pick with the Charlotte Bobcats. He's played 13 years so far in the NBA, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Time is flying with this dude. And his, college, he was the McDonald's All-American and Mr. New York basketball. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Tobias Harris, Tobias time in Philly said it all. And the reason why he's on my unachiever list, his time in Philadelphia just said it all. I mean, we as NBA fans, and I'm not even talking about Sixer fans, I'm talking about NBA fans and lovers. We always was hoping that this dude would be the third key scorer on the team, and he just never could be that dude. Especially in big games. Yeah, he'll hit there, but never coming down. Crunch time. Tobias Harris, I mean, his inconsistency was like, frustrating. And I'm not even a Sixer fan, right? And I used to watch playoff times, not just this season, right? His time, I'm talking about his whole time with the Sixers was just like frustrating for me because I was expecting this dude to really be, you know what I mean? Like, handsome guy, right? He got the hair, right? His personality seems to be nice, right? Don't know him, never met him, right? But just going by what I'm hearing about other people in the media. Tobias Harris, nice dude, character's nice, beautiful guy. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have the game. The game was supposed to have been, man, listen. I mean, Philly, as I look, right, and as I did my homework, I knew about the monies Philly gave him, right? That 5-year contract, right? $180 million. He got me bugging. 180 Philly gave him. And when Philly gave him that contract, I said to myself, they really envision this guy to be that number 2 or 3 guy. Because you just don't give 180 to an athlete who, at that point, when you gave it to him, hasn't really showed you that he can be that dude and go to the next level, right? But they were thirsty. They were thirsty to keep him, right? Also, right, they envisioned, just like everybody else, management envisioned that his skill level was going to just keep going. And it didn't. It didn't. I mean, listen. I mean, most big games in his professional career, he disappeared. To the point where Doc Rivers, you know what I'm saying? You remember Doc Rivers? The way he left Philly, you know what I'm saying? And the way he left Philly, yeah, it was unprofessional. But listen, you know what he said after his last season with Philly. You know, only one player name came out. You know what I'm saying? That was Tobias. No, let me rephrase. That and Ben Simmons. But I'm not even talking about Ben. I'm talking about, and and as I talk about Ben, no, Ben is not on my unachiever list, which he should be number 1, but that's for another show. I'm talking about Tobias Harris right now, right? Because Tobias, unlike Ben, Tobias was expected just to be the number 3 guy. No pressure. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't even handle that. You know what I mean? It was like frustrating. Philly said, enough. So now he's gone. And so, my 6th unachiever, which is my last unachiever, he is the main reason why I even thought about doing this show. My main reason, I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboy quarterback, Dak Prescott. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, talking about Dak. Listen, we all know what's going down right now with the ownership. Jerry Jones right now, these last several weeks, listen, man, he ain't trying to give up the cash. But that's not why I'm bringing this up. Why I'm bringing this up is this. Dak is now getting ready to start his 8th season as a Cowboy, as an NFL quarterback. Right? Now, with that in mind, you got to think about Dak and his highlights and his awards. The NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2016, he received the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. 3-time Pro Bowl appearance. Listen, NFL passing touchdown leader last year in 2023. Yeah, we know Dak. Most of the regular season games gonna show up. Right? Passing yards so far in his career, 29,459. Listen. Now, here's the main reason why I created this show. Dak has his playoffs, because I can't even talk every time I talk about Dak Prescott. He's 2-5. Only 2 wins as a wild card round. 2 out of 5. You think about that. You think about the team that Dak has had in the last 8 years. One of the best offensive lines money can buy in NFL history. Had the running game with Zeke. Right? The receivers. Right? The defenses. Listen, Jerry Jones spends the money throughout Dak's career. We know that. 2-5. Only 2 wild card wins, no divisional wins. Listen. Let's think about that right now. Right? Because Jerry Jones, the last contract, which is up, that 4-year deal for $160 million that Jerry really didn't want to give to him. Because if you remember the press conference, if you remember the press conference, Dak is sitting in the middle of the table. Jerry Jones is sitting at the end, and you got others. Jerry Jones leans over, looks at Dak, and says, "You got me. You got me." Basically, what Jerry Jones was saying, you stuck me up, okay? I'm giving you $66 million signing bonus. As soon as you put the ink on the paper, you're getting 66. 126 million guaranteed, right? And then you got all these other big figures. And I said to myself, damn, homeboy got the Powerball. He hit the Powerball. And give the Cowboys fans nothing to brag about so far. Here we are right now in 2024, getting ready to go into the 2024-2025 season. Dak won a lot more money right now. Dak just saw Tua, the Miami Dolphins quarterback, get a mother load, along with C.J. Stroud from the Green Bay Packers. He got the mother load. You young boys got the mother load. Here's the 8-year veteran saying, yo, I want about the same. And Jerry Jones is saying, hell no for right now, man. You stuck me up once. I don't think you're going to get any better. I think we saw what we saw from you. I got to think about this, man. I got to take care of CeeDee Lamb. I got to take care of Michael Parsons, right? I got to get a couple of others. Listen, man. We gonna have to think about this. Dak agents right now saying, yo, my man ain't gonna be here next season if you don't take care of him and take care of him right. Jerry Jones is saying, yo, I gotta think about this, man. We gonna see. I mean, listen, we gonna see. It's gonna have to take Dak Prescott to get the Cowboys to the NFC Championship before Jerry Jones opened up that book, that money book one more time. Because right now, he feels he got stuck up these last 4 years with that contract. Right? Dak is the reason why I created this show. And no disrespect to any of the 6 players, athletes that I named. No disrespect to them, because it's many more. And it's going to be many more in the near future and in the future. Many more unachievers. Many more that the high expectation is off the chart. And you would think as a professional athlete, as fans, we would think as team owners and the ones who's the owners and the management and the general managers, you would think within 5 years, that this athlete the skill level will continue to grow, right? But you got management out there that envision, and then now they got to come to a decision. Now it's time to really pay this athlete. And he hasn't really showed me, or she hasn't really showed me that he's going to be worth this amount of money, but I envision him or her getting better. So we got to give up the dough. So they give up the dough. And the fans is like, yeah, we got to give up the dough. She is expected to not just be in the good category, in the very good category, approaching maybe greatness, maybe, right? That's the hope. But the shit don't happen. And we as fans, we ain't shocked no more. You know what I'm saying? So all the hype that the media, sports world give these athletes before they even become professionals. You know what I'm saying? And then now they end second year to third year, and the skill level just mentally just what we see is what we gonna get. You know what I'm saying? And it's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe it's a mental thing. I could have easily put Ben Simmons in this, right? But that's for another show. He's a perfect example that the mental can go but so far when it comes to athletes in the sport they play in. You know what I'm saying? No matter what the high expectation is, it's like, they can only go but so far. You know what I'm saying? They can only go but so far. And when that so far is only in the fourth and the fifth year, you're like, oh man. Listen, there will always be athletes who's going to underachieve. In the near future, the future, it's always going to be. That's just the name of the sport. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody who comes out of wherever they come out of, you know what I'm saying, their skill level is just going to just grow. You know what I'm saying? What you see is what you get sometimes in the second year. And you don't see no more improvement, you know? And that's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Listen, I'm not trying to disrespect any underachiever. You know what I'm saying? But you as an underachiever, and you guys know who you are, right? When your name come up, right? No matter if it's 20, 30, 40 years, and you hear your name, and it's underachiever title to your name, right? You know that you were an underachiever. You know that. All underachievers know that they underachieved. It ain't no surprise to them. Trust me on that. It's no surprise. They know they underachieved. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to them, right? It's just, listen, everybody is on different paths when it comes to sports, right? And so everybody can't get to the Tom Brady level, the Patrick Mahomes level, right? The Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson level, the Wayne Gretzky's, right? Serena Williams, right? Right? Everybody can't, the Tiger Woods, everybody can't get to that level, right? Your skill level is going to stop, right? And it can stop after the second year. Shit, after the first year, it can stop. And then we don't see nothing else. It's like she got nothing else. Career's over already. You know what I'm saying? That's sports. That's just sports. Listen, I could go on and on with these underachievers. But for right now, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me in my basement. I appreciate y'all so much. Listen, to my viewers and listeners, please continue to check me out on my YouTube and subscribe. Check me out on my streaming platforms. Apple and Spotify. Yes, I'm live every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. At least I try to be. TikTok live, baby, giving you nothing but hot topics. Listen, the TikTok live with Tommy Ommy is on and popping. Listen, we got people who come on and they don't want to get off. I'm like running now almost an hour and a half, non-stop talking. You know what I'm saying? I gotta like cut them off. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Please, please remember to check out the Even Flow Coffee Company, created to combine the interests of coffee lovers, fashion, and music. And for more information on to make a purchase, visit evenflowcoffee.com. And as I always say, sports is what keeps this world from going insane, either in a pandemic or no pandemic. Until next time, take care.